Hello everyone! Today we're playing the La-Mulana remake. It's finally been released. This game has been anticipated by a number of people due to the original freeware version being quite popular. The freeware version has been out for some years now, but the remake was only released last year, and that was for WiiWare in Japan only. It was never released in any other regions, though they wanted to, but apparently there were some problems with that. But now it has been released in Western regions on the PC through a service called Playism. Playism, as far as I can tell, has been available in Japan, but the focus there has been to release US indie games and Western indie games to a Japanese audience, whereas Playism, as it's aimed towards Western audiences, is to sell Japanese indie games. At least that's my understanding of what it's about. So I never played the original La-Mulana. I always intended to, but never got around to it, so I was looking forward greatly to this release. Now, the game has gotten a total graphic overhaul. The original game had a very 8-bit look to it, as it's what people has described as a love letter to the MSX, so it looked very much like a game from that era, from that system. So we play the archaeologist, Lameza Kasugi, who has come to the ruins of La-Mulana, apparently following his father to find out solve its mysteries and find its treasures and all that, and things that archaeologists do. Not real-life archaeologists, but, you know, movie, video game archaeologists. This is what they do. And the elder of this small village develops his own software. So that's quite impressive. He's developed an email program that will allow us to receive email from him. It's just basically the mechanic they have, so he can stay in contact with us throughout the game and tell us what to do. Oh, he's sending us something now. Alright, so we can expect many emails from Zelpud throughout the game. We can break stuff and get money. I'm going to steal this money. That money technically belongs to the village, but someone just left it around, so I'm going to take it and spend it at a village store. Maybe it's this person's money. Maybe I'm buying this thing with their own money and they don't know. So the hand scanner is the first thing you're supposed to buy. I know because I watched a short little tutorial video that the developers put out for the game. And we can use this to read the various tablets around that we will find around. Oh, we have to equip it first, yeah. There we go. Alright, so we can save at these things. Now, I'm playing the game using an Xbox 360 controller, which the game has native support for, and that works fine. I don't know about any other gamepad, but the 360 gamepad worked without any kind of configuration. So that's what I'm using right now. This is the type of game I think I would rather play with a gamepad anyway. So there's a bunch of shops around, but we really can't buy anything since that 10 gold was all we could pick up. The only thing Lameza has brought with him is his whip. No money. Oh. This shop seems a little bit hostile. I think we should leave. Interesting translation. It has been retranslated by the staff of Playism, I think. I don't think this is the actual... this is a translation by the developers themselves, Nigoro. Because I've seen the type of English that they can do, and it's something special. You should take a look at that, because they released a manual that was translated by them, and it's quite interesting. So yeah, I think it was the case that Playism themselves retranslated this. It's not the same translation as in the original free game. So there's a hot spring right here. We can use that to recover if we're hurt, so I expect that we'd be using that many times throughout the game. Good soundtrack in the game, though it does sound very different from the original game. The original game had a sort of harder-edged FM synth sound to it. I think I kind of like that a little bit better, but I think this music's just fine. Alright, legendary monster Argus has a blue body and is covered with eyes. Weak against Serpent's Staff. We don't have that, but that might come in useful to know later. Alright, so that legendary monster he's talking about is right here. So when he was referring to the legendary monster, he actually was referring to the thing that lives outside his tent. It's not really what legendary means, but okay. I guess he's on good terms with Argus, since he lives right next to him. I don't think there's fall damage. Hope not. And, no, there's really no, You're not supposed to be confused about whether or not this is supposed to be inspired by Indiana Jones. If you look at the art for the manual, it's quite obvious that that is what La Mesa is supposed to look like. I'm not sure what the... Oh, I picked up a weight, which Zelpud did say we'll need. I'm not sure what the origin of La Mesa's name is. What kind of name is La Mesa? His last name's Kasugi, which is Japanese, and is probably a reference to Shokasugi. I would assume because the manual does mention that La Mesa's ancestry has ninjas in it. He comes from ninjas, which is why he can jump and do all this acrobatic stuff. Alright, so this is the first screen that we'll need a weight for. I have that treasure chest on the left side of the screen. We have this little platform right here. We can put a weight on it. And it acts as a switch to open that up. So we'll probably want as many weights as we can find, since we'll be needing those to open up a whole lot of doors and chests, I would expect. Alright, watch out for the waterfall. We can hear it. So, we're probably pretty close. Okay. The controls are a little... Well, the jumping is a little bit floaty. Controls in general are okay. But when you jump, you don't really have too much control over it. It's a bit different from... Oh, here's the waterfall. So I guess we want to avoid this for right now. It's a little bit different from something like Super Meat Boy, which if you're used to controls, very precise controls like are in that game, this might feel a little odd. Nothing you can't get used to, but it does control in a very different way. There are also some parts of the controls I don't really like, such as not being able to jump on and off ladders. I'm not sure why we can't do that. Alright, let's see. How do we want to do this? Okay. Just wanted to try not getting bounced off the screen by that guy, that bird. Alright. Here we find another platform for a weight. And that opens up the entrance to the sacred temples of La-Mulana. So Zelpud's still taking us through the tutorial, how things work. We can push blocks that look like this. Alright, an obtuse warning to those who would attempt to enter the ruins of La-Mulana, which we're about to do. Alright. So now the game proper actually begins. Zelpud did say we could look at skeletons, I think, didn't he? Yep. So some skeletons we can apparently talk to, and some we have to whip, but we can't seem to kill them. Alright, now that we're in the actual temple, these tablets are unreadable to us because we don't know the language that they're written in. That sound is, I believe, our shell horn, which sounds if a secret in the room has been opened up, which in this case is this treasure chest. Alright, we got a sacred orb. Not sure what that does. Oh, okay. That's great that that Zelput is there to tell us these things. Because I was thinking about eating it. Maybe just a little bit. Why am I even looking at these tablets? I can't read them. Keep forgetting that. And not sure what that is. Looks like some kind of rat with a giant nose that is standing on its own nose. I might be wrong. So the character in this game, LaMesa, he can take a few hits. Seems a little bit different from Spelunky, which we played recently. Which you die very quickly. Similar themes. Alright, this skeleton doesn't have the map. There's just a weight platform down there. Let's see if we can get to that. The skeleton stopped for some reason. Alright, there they go. Before we go in there, let's take a look to see if we can reach... Oh, hold on, there's a weight platform down in the lower right. Let's get to that. Okay, that was, yeah, that's my last weight. I'm out, and... Can't get to that, can I? Well, let's try to see if I can. Can walls be breakable, maybe? Oh, a trapdoor? It's the type of thing I guess we would expect from this game. Okay, no, I guess I can't get up there yet. So that, I guess, was probably a waste of a weight, because I used it to open a treasure chest that I cannot reach it right now. Probably should not have used it for that. And I probably should remember that there's a trapdoor right there. I guess, well, there's nothing, no spikes or anything underneath the trapdoor, so I guess that is just telling us right now that that's the sort of thing we can expect to see in these ruins. Kind of want to watch where you go, watch where you're going, in case you're walking a bridge over spikes or a pit. Nope, still can't read that. Alright, I guess the only way up is that moving platform we just saw. I guess we have to wait for it. Or maybe we could go to the right. Well, there's the platform. Let's get on that. Again, no idea where I'm going, so I'm just gonna have to try to make the best of this. Okay, I cannot jump up through floors, but that guy can. Can I do anything with this? No, it doesn't seem like it. Okay, it didn't look like there was any fall damage from that, so I guess I can confirm now that I can fall without fear. Let's take a look at what's in here. Nothing, apparently. That guy's not talking. Is that a statue, or is that an actual person? I don't think I can... I'm not sure if I can really sort of do any kind of quick jumps to make it up those side platforms because of the way the jumping works. Like I said, it is kind of floaty and you don't really control your direction very well. Oh. Helmet. Oh, okay. Whipping that block causes me to get struck by lightning. Alright. I don't have too much to say about the game right now because I am just discovering it, just like anyone else who might have not have played it before. And this does seem to be a game that is not going to make things too obvious for you. You do have to figure out where you have to go and what you have to do, and maybe as for what we have to do, maybe we can just sort of avoid getting hit by that fish. Though that doesn't seem to be going so well right now. If I can just... No, I can't get back up on the ladder after I get hit. I just fall right down to the ground. So I can't recover from that like in a Mega Man game or something. I can use the whip while I'm on the ladder, so maybe I can hit him. Okay, this is going great. Let's try whipping earlier. I don't even know if that's going to work, because he does approach from above and I whip to the side. Okay, great, wonderful, that worked. Oh dear. That is not good. I'm getting hurt by water. I can't go out the other side. And I died. Alright, so, La-Mulana. And I did not save. So, there doesn't seem to be any checkpoints in the game. It looks like that when you die, you would restart from a save point, and then if you didn't save, well, you just start from the beginning again. Fortunately, I had saved the previous time, the first time actually, I started up the game, so let's see where I had saved. Okay, this is a different area entirely. Still can't read those. I think I like this area more because there's no water, and there's no fish hitting me into the water. There are little slugs that kind of remind me of the things in Contra 1 in the last level that came out of Red Falcon. And there is some pretty jazzy music in this level. It makes me feel good. I gotta wait so I can put it down there. Right, I can't read them. Why do I keep looking at them? I didn't get the map in this save either. So, with this one, again, I still don't know where I'm going, and those bubble frogs look adorable. There is even though the game does have this sort of sense of adventure, there is a definite cuteness to the designs. And LaMesa can actually fall on spikes without dying in one hit. I'm out of weights, can't do anything there. And that skeleton has nothing to say. So yeah, I think I'm definitely going to continue to play this game. I'm very interested in seeing... Wait, why would I need to wait for that? I can get on either side of it already. What use would that have? I'm a bit puzzled by that. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to continue playing this game. I actually have bought it. This is not a demo version. This is the full version. And I'm greatly enjoying what I'm seeing so far. even though the controls, like I said, a little floaty, but it's alright, because it does really kind of, this game... Trapdoor? On spikes. There we go. That's more I expect of the sort of thing that this game trades in. But this is, really kind of scratching the itch for a traditional sort of Metroidvania kind of game with well-done traditional sprite graphics. Like I said, the way the graphics look do remind me of a high-end Super Nintendo game, which is pretty rare for an indie game to really nail that look. Usually when you see an indie game that does a sprite graphic look, they're trying to more emulate an 8-bit look, an NES look, because of course, I mean, hey, more colorful 16-bit looking graphics are much more difficult and more time-consuming to actually do than 8-bit graphics, which I can now say from personal experience. If you can get away with just doing 8-bit graphics, it may just be better for you and better for the project to do it that way. So I really do like that they took the time and effort to redraw everything in this way. My understanding also is that they have changed some elements of the gameplay. Even though the gameplay is mostly the same, some of the puzzles I think are different. I understand that the secret level, Hell Temple, they've redone it, I've heard. It's completely new. I might be wrong about that, but that is what I've heard some people say. Some things I don't like, such as, I said you can't jump on ladders, that includes this. I can't get on that ladder, apparently, because I have to be standing at the bottom of it to climb on it. I don't see why that should be necessary. So yeah, I'm going to keep playing this and hopefully actually figure out where to go and what to do. And maybe beat it. This is the sort of game, I think, that there's a temptation to look up facts online, but also the type of game where you really shouldn't. It's the sort of thing that you really should try to figure out everything yourself, because that's really part of the game, is figuring out some of the obscure puzzles. Alright, so we're in a new area now. I'm not sure if I've been here during this save. Right, still can't read it. I still don't remember that. Okay. Oh, a helmet. Yeah, that's right. Someone did say that we should have a helmet for water. Right, in this save I found Shuriken, which is a sub-weapon. We can throw it. Let's buy some weights. Yeah, 10 weights. I like that. Let's see, the sub... Yeah, there we go, the Shuriken. Yeah, we can't get past that. And this does not seem to actually be a door. So yeah, like I said, it is a game where there is a temptation to look up to see where to go and how to solve puzzles, but I think this is probably the type of game where you really don't want to do that, where you probably want to try to figure out everything by yourself, because that really is a big part of the game, isn't it? The premise of the game is that you're in this... Oh, I died again. The premise of the game is that you're in this ancient, deadly temple maze that no one has ever been able to figure out, and they really do lean into that aspect of it, where you, the player, are expected to be able to figure out these puzzles, just like the explorer in the game is. Anyway, I think that's probably long enough for this video of La-Mulana. I think it's a really good remake so far. Again, this is from the perspective of someone who didn't play the original game. I've seen some videos of it, but I don't know too much about it, aside from what I've seen and what I've now played. But I really do enjoy it. I think it's worth so far the $15 that Playism is charging for it. So I greatly recommend it, especially if you are in the mood for a Metroidvania type of game, an exploration type of game, with really sharp-looking 2D sprite graphics. And that's La-Mulana. Oh, one more thing. I mentioned before that the developer of La-Mulana, Nigoro, they had translated their own manual into English, and it was a very special translation. So let's take a little look at this manual. This page tells us about a couple of the characters of the game, Lameza and his father, Sean. Apparently, from what the manual tells us, Lameza is 31 years old, Sansei, the third generation of Japanese American, an archaeologist who teaches at a university in US, from a grandfather's generation to an archaeologist, and if an ancestor is followed, descendant of Japanese ninja warrior, grown up in the ancestry, still learning ninjutsu at present time. This ninjutsu seems so much helpful for his archaeological survey, as he is able to reach the deepest point of uncovered ruins and can live for days with no problem. Thus, he is famous for his unbelievable ruins research, though is looked coldly by commonsensical academians. He is chagrined that his father, also an archaeologist, and they jostle each other for the research, take a big bite from the difference of experience. Never leave the adventurer's exclusive-use laptop, Mobile Super X. Although there is no disagreeable thing in particular, a favorite food is curry. Next, for Sean Kasugi, the manual tells us that he's 62 years old, Nisei, the second generation of Japanese American, known as an authority of anthropology and historiography, and is Lameza's father. He is also bright at biology and astronomy as well. He took over his father's research theme, conditions for an ape to serve as people are not only evolution, and he quests for the anthropo-origin. He disappeared after making a presentation exciting hypothesis, there is civilization used as the origin of whole the civilization some years ago. He is also trained as well as Professor Lameza, and doesn't seem like the age over 60 with a trained body and excessive survival skill. A decline by age is compensated with the cunning strategy. It is too often that letting his son to research the same ruins and poaching the resultants. Near the end of the manual, we find a tips section, which tells us that, when you start the game, a tent will be opened up the professor. You enter the tent, and the friendly elder push email software to you forcibly. Besides, his mails are a little annoying. I suppose you don't want to read them, in fact. However, his mails may sometimes imply something important, so you may want to read them with patience. Then, you may go out of the tent and dash into the ruins at once. Let's prepare for the adventure in Surface. You set a goal to collect coins and weights to buy Hand Scanner, Glyph Reader, and Yugu Map Reader in Surface. If you do not have enough coins, you will also collect them in the ruins. You can scan the information of the various things by Hand Scanner. Hand Scanner gives you the information about murals, in addition to the messages of the tablets and the bodies. Professor can jump large, in addition to moving right and left and climb up and down ladders. The vertical jump is straight up from the standstill. You can move right and left and falling after the vertical jump. You can jump diagonally by press jump button while Professor are moving. Height of the diagonal jump varies with time you hold down the jump button. Distance of jump varies with moving distance, so it is difficult to control Professor. There are other types of jump. Please find them in the game. You may find the softwares you can install on your laptop. Some are useful, some are useless, but there are no meaningless one. Only one software has no effect. However, to launch two softwares simultaneously, they might show the abilities beyond your imagination. You will get over difficult stages in the abilities. So, that let us find the combinations. The final entry in the manual is a postscript, where the developers give us a personal message to tell us about the development of the game. Let's see what they had to say. We are engaged in the game for a long time. In an amateur period, we were regarded highly because of releasing this game. When we had turned professional, we concluded smoothly that remaking this game as first work was the best way. Remaking this took 2 years to complete. 1 year have passed since releasing WiiWare version in Japan. Remake version for PC have been released at last. La-Mulana returned to PC after a long time. We have not succeeded as Indie's game developer yet. It is only this game that we entrust our fate, we think. Then, we develop Thin Game in the best to be evaluated long. Now, we entrust our fate to La-Mulana. That apart, the pleasures of the making games is listening players' impressions. Well, players' screams. When we were young, we would often read that game developers said, "I'm glad to listen players' impressions." About that, we thought, don't give a high-sounding talk, but something we feel in the same place as them is exciting rather than gladness. That is like playing the game with players. No wonder it's exciting. So, we will play La-Mulana with everyone from now on. We will be engaged in the game for a very long time.